Hi everyone, it's Jessica from The Secret Life of Parkinson's. I have a DBS update. Today is Tuesday, September 2nd, and I was programmed today. So far I've had the first surgery on one side. I had the second surgery 2 weeks later, and then I had the third surgery, which I don't even know if you could see it anymore. I can't see it. But I have like 2 scars back there, and then the wire that comes down my neck, and you can see it there, and it goes into the battery pack right here in my chest. It looks like it's pronounced, but it's not too bad. And then the scar, which is slowly going down. So that was all at the end of July and August. And then they waited 2 weeks after that last surgery, and I just was programmed for the first time today. So that was like a 3-hour appointment up at the Cleveland Clinic. And so I was off medications all morning. So by the time I got there, I think I left the house at like 5:30 or 6. So by the time I got there at 8, I was super stiff, very uncomfortable. And obviously when they then turned everything on and they were able to read on their iPad with Medtronic, they were able to like read what I was feeling. They were able to like physically see the Parkinson's symptoms as like a line graph, which was really interesting. And to see how, I don't know, just like how it looked. And then when they went through, started to do some of the controls, they started on one side and they would increase the stimulation by like 0.1, 0.2, 0.3. And they would do it slowly and then just ask how I felt or what I would feel. And so that was actually almost even more nerve-wracking than the surgery itself, because I'm like, okay, what's going to happen? Am I going to like go flying off the chair, get a twitch in my face or something? She's like, basically, just let me know anything that you feel. So mine was when she got up to a certain point, and I don't know what point it was. I want to say it was either 0.3 or 0.5. I actually starts feeling relief of my symptoms in that one side. So that tension, that tightness I feel, like it literally relaxed on the one side only. So it was kind of hard because on the other side was still like going and very tense. And then she would go past that point to then see how far I could go with then getting like a potentially negative reaction, I guess. And so she ended up stopping when I got to a point where I kind of was getting like dizzy or lightheaded, and I would get like really hot. I don't know why. And she said everybody feels differently. She said she's had that a couple of times, but she's like, every reaction is different of like how people feel. So then she took it down slowly, and then she did that a couple more times on that side, but with like different, I'm going to probably say this wrong, but maybe different electrodes. I don't know. There's one there they can see the data, and the other ones that they can't see the data. But anyway, so they did that on one side, and then they brought me back to normal, and then they did it on the other side. Same thing. Actually, I had the same reaction. So like I would feel the tension release, and then after it would go up even further, I was again dizzy and really hot. So then they bring it back down. And then she put me on both sides on a very low setting, I think just like 0.5. And then I took my medications. That was at 10 o'clock this morning. I took my meds. So I took my regular carbidopa levodopa and then the extended release or controlled release, whatever they call it. It's a blue pill. I took both of those at the same time. And after like a half hour, they did like the whole like movement of like tapping and like the flashing. And I walked down the hallway. So my walking was much better. Like they literally felt like stumps the first time when I walked in. It was hard walking into the office, and then it felt so much more fluid when I did it that time at 10:30. But then shortly after, I'd say close to 11 o'clock, I was getting pretty dyskinetic, just in my feet, my like the turn, like how your feet kind of just like keep turning and stuff. So that was happening. I'm typically more dyskinetic towards the end of the day after I have a lot of meds in me. So she said, just monitor the amount of meds I'm taking, but still try and take the same amount. If anything, just because I feel like she's like, I feel like, I know myself pretty well and like how I take and what I take, that I can see what to do. But she's like, don't change. she's like, I really don't want you to change anything with your meds because she's like, I want to see what's working when and why. So like just changing the one thing, which would be the stimulators on. So making sure like if that's what's constant right now. So, but I did drop the controlled release. Shoot. I wasn't sure if I was supposed to take a half of one or just not take one at all. So I just took my regular yellow carbidopa levodopa at 3 o'clock today. Actually, before I did that though, I got home. Sorry, I'm kind of going backwards. So I took the stimulator went on at 10. I took my medication, and by the time we got home at like 1:30, it was almost at my 4-hour time between meds, which is where I get my off time comes. So instead of taking my meds, because I wanted to wait until my typical 3 o'clock time, because my time is usually 7, 11, 3, and 7. I wanted to wait until 3. So I just upped it. I think maybe I did say this. I upped it myself. I was at a 0.5. So I slowly increased it on both sides to 1.0. I don't know if Ellen will be happy with me on that or not. But I increased it to 1.0. And then I felt great. And I was walking much better than I was walking when I came in the house. I laid down for a little bit, and then at 3 o'clock, which is just a few minutes ago, just like 20 minutes ago, I took just one carbidopa levodopa, the yellow pill, and so I'm ready to turn the stimulator back down if needed, so if I get dyskinetic. And then I'll just kind of monitor that today and obviously this week and see how that goes. So yeah, it was a very interesting day, very exciting. I don't know, I'm just really, really excited of the possibility that I'll be on all day, or at least, and I'm not on adaptive yet. They didn't turn that on. Reason being is once you have the adaptive on, it kind of like locks you in because it's reading you. And so instead of doing that, they need to, and like not figure, like, because you can't just kill your meds at once. So basically being able to figure out, like, can I get off all meds, or what the medication is going to look like, and then what control settings I will or should be on. She wants to make that clear, so that's probably going to take a month, if not maybe a little bit more, but I told her I'll work really hard to make sure it's just like in the next visit or two, which is in 2 weeks. It's my next one, but it was really cool, like on the Medtronic or on the app, and I think all the companies have this, I think. But they were able to see the data, so they could see, basically see what I was, not see what I was feeling, but they could see the levels, like, so it would show like all these peaks and valleys, like the current where I was feeling, and then they would turn the stimulation on, and then it would like flatline, because then I was feeling like I wasn't feeling anything. So when I said what I was feeling matched what their data was saying, it was, I don't know, it's just very cool. They were very excited about it too. And then they were able to track and see all the data since I've been on, which was 2 weeks ago. And I have been documenting on the app that they gave me, documenting like when I was taking my medication. So that way they can see at the point in the 24-hour period of the day, they can see when I took my meds, what I was doing. So if the stimulator was reading that I was like off or on in terms of my fluctuations in my movements or whatever, they were able to see that and then see it compared to when I took my meds. So it was really cool. It was very much on, but then you can also see when I was dyskinetic. But it was really nice because I think there's so many times that, obviously we're asked, and it's up to us as a patient to be able to say what we're feeling, how we're feeling, and when we're feeling it. And it's not easy to describe. It's not easy to tell them and remember, or to think back, like even just to like earlier that day, it's like, was I dyskinetic? Like, or was it dystonia? Like, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I don't even know. So that was really cool to see. And I don't know. I kind of want to see if I can get that as a patient to see it all the time, because it was just very fascinating. So all in all, everything was very positive, and I'm very excited and hopeful for for the next few, and then getting on the adaptive. So it just, changes goes up and goes down on its own, after it knows what my typical peaks and valleys are. So more to come, but just wanted to send an update, and yeah, everything's going well. Our walk for Changing Parkinson's, the 5K for JK, is just 2 weeks away on September 14th. So if you live anywhere near the Columbus, Ohio area and want to drop by, we have a party at the gym, which we're expanding. I don't even know if we said that, but we're expanding the gym, which is super exciting because we've gotten so many new people. And if you're even thinking about it and you live close to Columbus, just come by. It's super fun. And everyone enjoys seeing all the new people, but we're expanding because we've had so many new people this past year. So it's very exciting, very promising. And, keep your comments, keep your emails coming in. It's always amazing to hear from so many people and hear your stories. If you have a story that you'd like to share, let us know. We love hearing them because everybody is so different. And we like to share what each individual is feeling. And I think it's really important to get that out there. So I am actually interviewing Dr. Ray Dorsey at the end of this week. We were recording on Friday with a few people. So I'm interviewing him on the book that he and Dr. Okun wrote on the Plan to End Parkinson's. Great, great read if you have not picked it up yet. Very, very well written and very exciting to see the future as to where this is going to go for Parkinson's. So great time to have Parkinson's now. Great time to be an advocate for yourself and for others. And yeah, that's it. So until next time, actually, I think the next podcast you'll see is with my kids, which is always interesting because they're teenagers, and I'll just leave it at that. But Steve did a great job editing, so thank you for that. And it was a great time to have them on. Okay, that's all. I'm gonna go relax. And we'll see you next time.